In the dead of night, when decent folks are tucked away in their beds, the devil does his finest work. And sometimes that work crosses state lines without so much as a whisper. Welcome back to Themidnightburn, where the darkness of the Deep South reveals its deepest secrets. I'm your host, and tonight as we begin a two-part journey into a mystery that spans the blood-soaked border of Mississippi, a case where truth is as elusive as morning mist over the bayou, and where human trafficking was found and led by a corrupt sheriff in a nearby county that I believe has everything to do with the disappearance of our next person. This is a two-part story, so stick with me. Get your popcorn ready. Bring your phone in close, because this one runs deep. Let's dive in. September 7th, 2015. Labor Day. While most folks were firing up their grills and enjoying their last taste of summer, 26-year-old Rebecca Henderson Palk was about to vanish into the kind of darkness that swallows souls whole. Her name was Rebecca. Remember that name? Because by the time this story ends, you'll understand why some names echo louder in death than they ever did in life. Picture this: Demopolis, Alabama, just 1 hour away from Meridian, Mississippi, a town where everybody knows everybody, and secrets have a way of bubbling up like crude oil from cursed ground. Rebecca spent that Labor Day evening with her parents, a normal night, the kind that should end with sweet dreams and sunrise coffee. But Rebecca had other plans. She showered, put on makeup, the universal signs of a woman preparing to see someone. Her parents watched her leave, never knowing they were witnessing their daughter's final exit from their world. Monday, September 7th, 2015. Rebecca leaves her parents' home in Demopolis, Alabama. Destination, unknown. A mystery wrapped in lipstick and perfume. But here's where our story takes its first sinister turn. Tuesday morning, September 8th, Rebecca's car appears on security footage in Meridian, Mississippi. Not Rebecca driving it, mind you. A man named Johnny Paco behind the wheel, buying saw blades at Mid-South Welding like he's preparing for... what exactly? Saw blades. In a missing person case, let that chill crawl up your spine real slow. Wednesday, September 9th. Rebecca's abandoned car is discovered on a rural back road in a place called Why Not Mississippi? You heard right. Go ahead and look it up. But that's just the beginning of this geometric nightmare. Picture a triangle, but not the kind you learned about in school. This triangle was drawn in dirt and desperation. Point 1. Rebecca's Honda Civic, sitting empty like a tomb on wheels. Point 2. Her cell phone, discovered roughly a mile away in an open field. Point 3. Her clothes, scattered like breadcrumbs in a twisted fairy tale. A perfect triangle. Too perfect. As if someone wanted these items found, positioned just so, telling a story without speaking a word. But what story? And who was the author of this ground-level constellation of clues? Someone knew exactly what they were doing. Let's talk about the men who haunt this story like ghosts at a crossroads. Philip Cole, Rebecca's boyfriend with a violent past. Oh yes, you heard right. This man had run Rebecca over with his truck before. Broken ribs, no charges filed. Love makes fools of us all, but sometimes it makes victims too. Cole claims he never wanted to go to Mississippi, says Rebecca dropped him off at a Texaco station. Convenient story. But here's the poison in that sweet tea. Witnesses saw Philip drunk at a party, bragging that he knew where Rebecca's body was, claiming she's in the river and you'll never get her back. Johnny Paco, the shadow man with land in 3 states and secrets buried deeper than his backyard ponds. Neighbors whisper about screaming girls, about someone chained up in his house, about crystal meth cooking and parties that end with ambulances. This is the man who was driving Rebecca's car, buying saw blades while she was still missing. Then there's William Taylor, the classmate who knew too much and said too little. After Rebecca vanished, William showed up at a friend's house, paranoid and rambling. He said, "They did something to her. They finally did something to her." But who were they? William was so terrified of his own knowledge that he got himself arrested, on purpose, to hide behind bars from whatever evil he'd witnessed. The questions in this case multiply like summertime mosquitoes in the summer heat. Why was Rebecca's phone found so far from her car, positioned in that unnatural triangle? What did Johnny Paco need those saw blades for on the morning Rebecca disappeared? If Philip Cole knew where her body was, why hasn't anyone dragged the river? And what did William Taylor see that terrified him into seeking the safety of a jail cell? But here's the question that should keep you awake tonight. In a case involving drug dealers, corrupt cops, and men who hurt women for sport, how many people knew exactly what happened to Rebecca Henderson Palk, and how many chose silence over justice? Now, let's pour some Mississippi mud on this Alabama fire. Remember that triangle of evidence? Well, there's another triangle, one made of corruption, complicity, and cash. Sumter County Sheriff Tyrone Clark caught red-handed letting inmate Rodney Coates leave jail to fetch drugs, traffic women. And guess who Rodney Coates calls his friend? You guessed right. Johnny Paco, the man seen driving Rebecca's car at the gas station. When the law enforcement officers are in business with the drug dealers, when sheriff's badges are bought and paid for with crystal meth money, and women, what hope does a missing girl have for justice? Now, let's go to part 2 of this 2-part story. It's gonna blow your mind. Until next time, catch the dice. They rollin'.